Get ready for The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to The Splash Live.
Good morning and welcome to The Splash Live. I am Larry Nilan. A very happy Wednesday to all of you in West Bloomfield, Keogh Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and Orchard Lake Village. The Splash Live is Greater West Bloomfield's daily TV and radio streaming show. You can watch us live Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 10 a.m. on Civic Center TV, and also watch us on Comcast Channel 15, AT&T Channel 99, on the web at civiccentertv.com, on Civic Center TV's Facebook app, and you can even listen live on 89.3 Lakes FM. The Splash Live is part of Civic Center TV and Lakes FM's 90 minutes of live local programming. Looking at the weather for this morning, what another beautiful August day that we have that they're continuing all month long here in the Greater West Bloomfield area. We're looking at mostly sunny skies and a high of about 84 degrees, cooling off a little bit tonight to around 64 this evening, and Thursday brings us a few clouds moving in, but still a pleasant high of 83 degrees. Looking to just a couple days down the road, it is going to be the big West Bloomfield Youth Assistance Food Truck Rally at the Orchard Mall at the corner of Maple and Orchard Lake Roads. The food truck rally will be taking place from 4 to 8 p.m. on Friday, August 26th, featuring live music from Steve Acho and DJ Teddy, a beer and wine tent, free kids games and bouncers, and of course, lots of great food trucks to choose from. Recently, our own Ursula Kraus sat down with West Bloomfield Youth Assistance' Melanie Schwartz and talked about some of the cuisine offerings for this year's rally.
So we have so far, and we're still adding, Buffy's Mexican Grill, Cinnabon Food Truck, Detroit House of Mac, Egg Pizza, Heavenly Chicken and Waffles, Hello Marla, Love Froyo Ice Cream, Pizza Pazza, Real Taco Express, the D Loft Cafe, the Grilled Wrap, the Crepe Cart, the West Bloomfield Youth Assistance Coney Food Truck, Tres Leches and Snacks, Taco Sunnies, Hamburgers Food Truck, Vegged Out, and Big Bow Grill. That's who we have so far. And in addition to that, we also have live music and entertainment. We have a beer and wine tent. We also have activities for the kids. We have bounce houses and things like that.
Again, the food truck rally will be this Friday from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Orchard Mall. Admission is just $5 per family, and we'll be broadcasting a special episode of The Splash Live from the Orchard Mall this Friday at 9:30 with plenty of guests who are working hard to make this food truck rally the best one ever. Also coming up this week is the kickoff of the West Bloomfield Lakers football season on Thursday night at Wayne State against the Titans of Sterling Heights Stevenson. Our own Tyler Kieft had the chance to talk to defensive lineman Brandon Davis Swain about the upcoming season and why he chose to play his college ball at the University of Notre Dame.
Coach Freeman, the head coach, he's a great coach, and Coach Washington, the D-line coach, really bringing in for me. He's really family to me, and then when I went back there like the third time, I just felt comfortable enough, so I committed. Yeah.
When you think about Laker defenses for this program, you think about the defensive line. Great players in the past, Mike Williams a year ago, guys like Niles King, Sterling Miles in the past. Those defensive edges have always kind of been those key players. For you coming into this season after last season, third all-time for a single season in sacks for the Lakers at 17.5. What does it feel like for you to take over the reins as that next great Laker D-lineman?
It's a little pressure, but I know I'm going to come out here and dominate and come out here and compete. And I want to break the sack record and do as best as I can for my team and lead, go to the state championship and win it all.
Returning 7 players on the defensive side that were starters a year ago. For you and for the guys that are in leadership roles as upperclassmen, what do you say to the younger guys coming up about the culture of this defense and what they need to do to win football games in the MHSAA and especially in the OAA Red?
It's no one better than the team, so you really got to work together and be a team, be a brotherhood, and it's nobody better than the team. So you got to come out here and play for each other, just don't play for yourself and play for the team.
Joined by Brandon Davis Swain, Lakers defensive lineman. You'll also see him on the offensive side playing tight end, a little bit of wide receiver for the Yell Boys this season. Brandon, It's always interesting to see teams come into the seasons after some adversity a year ago. And so for your team, having lost to Rochester Adams in the playoffs, lost them at the beginning of the season, your only losses of the season, how much of a motivation is it to have them in league this year and compete with them for the OAA Red Championship?
It's going to be good, but we're taking it one game at a time. But when we get the chance to play them, we're going to try our best to beat them.
We're joined by Brendan Davis-Swain, Lakers defensive edge, and he is going to Notre Dame. I'm really glad that Michigan State doesn't play them very often anymore, because I am already worried enough about Donovan Edwards, let alone Brendan Davis-Swain year after year. So Brendan, outside of football, when you're not in practice, when you're not absolutely crushing other teams on the football field every Friday, what are some of the things that you enjoy outside of the gridiron?
Playing the game. Being with my family, my mom, my dad, my two sisters, going out with friends, like bowling, basketball, just stuff like that.
As you look to the future of this team and look toward the season, what are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking for the brotherhood and everybody coming together as one so we can do what we need to do on the football field.
And remember to tune in to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM for the start of the Lakers 2022-23 season this Thursday. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will be heading to one of the great grocery stores in West Bloomfield, Busch's Fresh Food Market. Don't go away.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
I'm feeling good.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head-on, visit michigan.gov/flu.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live. I am Larry Nilan. Well, Busch's Fresh Food Market has 16 total locations, and West Bloomfield is proud to be home to one of those 16. And they are also home to this little item here, which is perhaps the greatest donut that has ever been developed. These chocolate sticks that are just so ridiculously fantastic. Joining us now from Busch's is the Talent Acquisition Manager, Jeromie Ortiz. Jeromie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Jeromie, can you start off by telling us a little bit about your background and what brought you to Busch's Fresh Food Markets?
Yeah, well, it's a long story, but I'll try and be as brief as I possibly can. I've been working in human resources for roughly about 8 years, and I came from education where I worked in a day treatment facility for almost 12 years, and after that, transitioned into retail human resources with Target. As an executive ETL of HR, and then an HR VP, human resources business partner, and then which transitioned to a local company just about 5 years ago at Busch's, and have developed their talent acquisition department since then. So it'll be celebrating my 5-year anniversary here this upcoming November.
So, Jeromie, I'm sure in your 5 years is probably one of the reasons you've been here so long. When you go into a Busch's store like the one at 14 Mile and Drake, you do notice a distinct difference between, say, a Meijer or a Kroger store. What would you say is the unique value proposition of Busch's Fresh Food Markets?
I would say one of the biggest things that it's we're local. We're based on community aspects. The reason that we're driven to do what we do is because of communities that we have stores in right now, which is one of the huge reasons why I came to this company in the first place. I want to be able to work for an organization that practiced what they preach, but also was enthralled or in fully developed and within the communities, and really focused on the community aspect. And the West Bloomfield store that just went through a remodel. It's one, it's gorgeous, but two, it's one of those things that you can go inside there and get things for every holiday for everybody that's in the community. It's not based off of what's going on in Canton or Ann Arbor. It's what's going on specifically in the West Bloomfield area.
Yeah, and one thing I did notice when I stopped in to get those donuts this morning is the beautiful staging of the whole, especially the new area with the fruits and the vegetables. Someone had aligned the ears of corn into this little kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but it was like kind of a circular motion. I was like, that is the most beautiful corn display I've ever seen in my life.
And that's one of those things that you get when you come into a specialty grocer like Busch's. We tend to put a lot of emphasis on merchandising to let our communities know what we have and what's fresh. And what you saw when you walked into the West Bloomfield store, it is completely remodeled. We did a grand reopening just a couple of months ago. And one of the things we did was we took out the vestibule that was in that store. And so now it's completely open when you walk in. And you see things like the fresh local produce and that corn that you were looking at today. It's all local. Everything that you see at the front is from vendors anywhere from 5 to 25 miles away. So the corn, the tomatoes, the stone fruits that you're getting, a lot of that stuff is very local, and it tends to stay that way from about April through September each year.
So yeah, you mentioned all the local products they have. So how do those partnerships begin with local vendors? Do you seek them out? Do they seek you out? And how do you pick which specific items you want to carry there?
Great question. So it's a little bit of both. We do lobby for some of the local businesses that we currently have not worked with in terms of vendor relationships. But building those partnerships, a lot of it's word of mouth. A lot of it has happened when a vendor comes in or a specific organization that's a startup, maybe for a small food. For example, there's a lot of local brands that we use, but there's a company called Tennessee Hot Crackers. And they're based out of the Sterling Heights area. And a few years ago, they came in with a proposition of, hey, we started this cracker company out of our house, and we'd like to showcase some of these at Busch's because we have a good following for it. So what we did is we got with our marketing team, social media, and did the same thing with them. And we started carrying these in certain stores. And within the first 6 months, we had them sampling those crackers in our stores. And ever since then, their market's grown significantly. And their share in our stores has grown significantly as well. So a lot of it's just word of mouth. A lot of it is we have a category team that goes out and tries things. They go to seminars, they go to conferences, they go to just little places they hear about, they go try things. And it's a lot of it comes from the associates that we currently have in our stores as well that keep their ears to the ground and let us know, hey, I had this when I was someplace else and we don't carry it. I think we should carry it. And once we go through the trial process, sometimes it takes as little as just a week. Sometimes it takes 6 months, depending on how the partnership goes. But a lot of it's just done by word of mouth.
So one of the things that also stands out at the Busch's fresh food markets are the deli area, where you have so many different prepared items to choose from. And I know it's tailgate season coming up. What kinds of things can people come in there and purchase in your deli area?
It's one of those things too. So we have 150 different types of prepared food items that we put out on a daily basis in different stores. And with tailgating season coming up, it's one of those things that we like to showcase. We have these subs, they're called Tailgater Subs. They're 3-footers that they make every single day and put out there fresh. But you can come in our stores and get everything from prime rib dinners that you take home and warm up to those Tailgater Subs, different types of salads and sandwiches that you can grab and go that we have in our coolers. But also for tailgate season, we have things like queso that we're making, pico, guac, a whole bunch of small things that are already in pre-made containers, things of veggies you can take with you. We have our own line of tortilla chips now. There's a whole bunch of different types of things you can come in and get from us. It depends on what you're in the mood for. You can get everything from ribs that have already been prepared and smoked by us to whole chickens to things as little small as tabbouleh from the Beirut bakery that we carry every single day that they drop off to our stores. So there's a lot of different options that you can choose from for tailgate season. But then don't forget the beer. So we have a partnerships with a lot of local vendors in the state of Michigan that make beer just specifically for Busch's and put our brand on it for us. And so that's one of those things too. We do carry a lot of showcase bourbon. We have small batch that we have made and bottled and bond for our specific location for Busch's in general. And then we also have a whole bunch of other spirits available that are local as well.
You mentioned the beer. I don't know if this still exists, but at your, I think it's the Farmington Hills location at Drake and Grand River, this walk-in cooler, is that still there? Because that, I used to live right near there, and that was a beautiful place to just pop into. It's like, wow.
It is. So even though we went through a remodel, we have 2 stores left to remodel.
Mm-hmm.
The Dexter store is getting remodeled right now, and then we have one more after that. But some of our stores, we did take the beer coolers out, the walk-in beer coolers, because it made more sense for us to put the cases in there. But that Farmington store does still have the beer cooler, a beer cave. You can walk in there, and the vendors merchandise it every single day. But it's one of those old school grocery store, party store feelings where you walk into it and you're surrounded by different kinds of beer and seltzers and ciders that you can look at and grab at anytime you walk into the store. It's a good place to cool off in the middle of the summer too.
It is. So, Jeremy, you are the talent acquisition manager at Busch's. So how is the staffing at the West Bloomfield location and other locations? Are you still always in need of staff?
We're always in need of staff all the time. We never want to turn down a good applicant. For us, I would say it's a small opportunity. It's not like it was 6 months ago or a year ago. We've kind of worked our way around some things and started offering more incentives for people to come join our teams, and it's helped out significantly over the past couple of months. We did recently raise our wage to, it's an up to wage about $17.50. Starting wage is at $14 an hour, part-time and full-time. But if you have that experience, you can get up to $17.50 for full-timers, $16.25 for part-timers. That's one of the incentives that we have that have brought people over here. I'd say on average, people are making close to $15 an hour for just hourly clerk level associates. Management goes up to almost $30 an hour. And then store management and corporate office, it depends on the positions, but those go up. But staffing in general is definitely on the up. We have roughly around 1,650 associates, which we're about 8% over compared to what we were last year, which is a good trend. And then going into the holiday season for us, which starts essentially at the end of next month, we already have a lot of people in place for that. We did just have a lot of students that we had. We have just about 120 college and high school students that worked with us over the summer that are getting ready to head back to school. So we've been working on replacing those positions for the last month, but overall staffing is in a much better place than what it has been, and it's continuing to trend upward. So we have a lot of smiles on our faces now when you walk around the store compared to what it was like just about a year ago. But it's getting better. But those incentives like full-time benefits, we pay full medical premium for our full-timers for their benefits too. So nothing comes out of their pocket for their premium medical insurance, dental or vision, which is another huge incentive. Plus our tuition reimbursement is really good. Even part-timers receive that tuition reimbursement up to 50% as long as it relates to the business. Full-timers 75% and management up to 100% as long as it pertains to the business.
Wow, that's great.
Helps significantly.
So, Jeremy, if anyone is interested in coming to work at Busch's, or they just want to find one of your locations and pick up some of the great products, how can they find you online and via social media?
You can find us anywhere online, almost any platform we possibly have. If you scan the barcode that's behind me, it's scannable through the screen. That'll take you to our careers page. Otherwise, you can look at our main page. It shows all 16 locations at www.bushes.com. Or if you're interested specifically in the careers page and not just all the other info, it's www.bushes.com/join our team. And then we also have a text number that pops up scrolling through the screens as well. Very simple, easy platform to use. Takes about 10 minutes to fill out an application. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to call my number directly. It's 734-214-8591.
Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. I hope you guys have a great week.
Thanks. It's Jeromie Ortiz, Talent Acquisition Food Manager for Busch's Fresh Food Market. Thanks for joining us. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back on the Splash Live, I'm quite certain that we'll be talking to perhaps the most positive person in all of West Bloomfield, and that's Stacy Zotkovich, also known as Stacy Renee. That's coming up next. Don't go away.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
You know, it's peaceful, it's quiet, and the noise and stress of life can sometimes disappear.
It's the Great Lakes water, and so what people do ends up in our waterways.
It's for our health and safety, it's for our economy, it's for protecting the environment that we all enjoy and we all need to survive.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
We're all about one water in this region. We're all connected. We all have a role.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there. And now, back to the Splash, live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live. I am Larry Nilan. Well, joining us now is a great friend to all of us here in the Civic Center TV universe. She is the Chief Energy Officer and founder of The Positive Shift, Stacy Zotkovich. Stacy, nice to see you this morning.
Good morning and hello everybody. Great to be back today and share some exciting reminders that we all need in life.
Well, your first sentence just proved my point. You are probably the most positive person in West Bloomfield. Stacy, you have just as many problems as everybody else. So how do you do it? How do you stay so positive?
You know, it's the mindset of how we are. This morning was a little difficult for me. I have a migraine and it's like right there. I mean, our migraines are, all over the place, but I'm like, I could either cancel or just make it happen and, go out, take a few minutes and try and reset myself and do what I can. And here I am today. So you can really do anything you want. It's just what you're willing to put in for it. And again, mindset is key for everything: positive, negative, goals, success, failures, just the whole 9 yards. And, that brings me to a great point of how we are on ourselves, how we view ourselves, how we see ourselves. And, that's a big proponent of how every day starts for us, is what you think of yourself.
Yeah, but when things go wrong, and it's like, and if maybe you feel like you're the person responsible for something going wrong, it's easy to beat yourself up a lot. How do you get out of that cycle of being too hard on yourself?
Right, absolutely, it does, and let's be honest, it sucks. It totally sucks to feel that way, and you feel like you're a little ant. And if you screw up, number one, own it. Don't ever try and cover it up. Hey, everybody does make mistakes. Everybody, forgets to do things or, interprets things differently, but you just have to own it and then move on. And the other thing is because we're too hard on ourselves. We take things very personal, and so does everybody else. And it's just a way of, saying, I did it. Okay, it's in the past, and then you move on. And you just have to know that if you sit there and you're battling your own internal, oh my God, I did that wrong, then you're feeding yourself more of that thought process, but there's nothing you can do about it at this point. So now it becomes part of your past. Now you have to be in the present. Okay, what can I do to move forward? How can I move forward to get to the next step, to change things? Okay, you learn from that mistakes. And that's the huge point, is because you made that mistake or you did something different or wrong, doesn't mean that it is complete failure. It means that you're not going to be doing that again. And you just learn from it and move on and set new goals, try unique ideas, new things, and stop being hard on yourself.
Well, I will give that a shot, Stacy. For you, I will give it a shot.
Thanks.
So,
Thanks. I appreciate that.
I wanted to get your thought on this. We just have a couple minutes here quickly on COVID-19 seems to have changed people a lot. I notice when you're out in public, there's a lot of antisocial behavior. How do we get back to being normal people again? I know it's kind of a big question, but what are your thoughts on that?
It's not. It's actually the reality of what we're in, because who we were then is completely different to who we are now. I know I've been affected. So many people have been affected, and usually I'd get up, I'd be raring and ready to go, and now I'm like, you know, if I don't want to go to it, I'm not going to. And so the mindset is how you get up every morning and start your day is going to be key. If you're going to sit there and get on your phone and look at what everybody else is doing and be like, I don't have the energy to do that today, then you're already setting yourself up for failure. Number one, don't pick up your phone. Don't look at it. Get up, take at least a few minutes of your own time and write 3 things down that you want to accomplish for that day. 3 things that you're grateful for that day. I mean, and it can be anything. I mean, I'm grateful for my cup of coffee. I won't lie to you. And then, you know, how you start it sets the tone. And if you have a few minutes to do some stretches, to, you know, when you're brushing your teeth, go up and down on your toes a little bit, to put your leg on, you know, the toilet seat and stretch, do something for yourself. That, my friends, completely changes the dynamics of your day, how you're going to start, how you're going to feel. And then when you're in your day a little bit and you're already out the door or you're on your way, then pick up the phone and check it. But whatever you do, do not get on social media first thing in the morning, because it is probably going to hinder your day.
Stacy, that is great advice, and I'm sorry that we have to wrap it up quickly here. We will have you back on because you always have great things to say, and good luck with your migraine. I'm sorry that you're dealing with that this morning.
All good. Thank you.
Stacy Zotkovich, thank you so much as always. So it looks like that's all the time we have today. I am Larry Nilan, and we want to thank everyone for watching the Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's own TV, radio, and streaming show. West Bloomfield, we will see you tomorrow.